Okay, let's go to Kampala and we look at Victoria Cup where our own Simbas fell short against Uganda, and of course we'll be looking forward to the second leg. Kinyua, let me bring you here. You cover this game a lot, but of course look at Simbas, their performance. Very marginal defeat against Uganda. We are looking forward to the return match in Kisumu.
First things first, congratulations to Uganda for winning the Victoria Cup, which yesterday's match served as the first leg of Elgon Cup. So Uganda is going to be playing Kenya again in Kisumu. And I think it was a clear reflection of where we are. This was the first time we are having a national 15th team camp in over 6 months. We've not had those boys in camp. And it came at a very unfortunate time because we've not had a 15 season on. We've just come from the National 7 circuit. Then we went into, teams that were playing in the Fladdies. It was a very unfortunate time for Kenya to have, a 15th team. But talk about how Kenya performed. We start with what we saw yesterday, for example, in Kenya's game against Uganda, was exactly what we saw against Zambia. The only difference was Zambia were not as clinical as Uganda was, because our breakdown plays are very poor. You look at, we play for the first 10 minutes, very good, get the lead, and then I think for some reason we relax. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. By the 10th minute or 12th minute, we were leading, I think, 12-0. Within 10 minutes. But then from there on, I think Uganda gained confidence. You see, for example, decision-making in the team was not very, was not top-notch. Talk about breakdown plays. Our set pieces were not going our way. You look at how, for example, we get a penalty, then we call for a scrum, and then we end up giving a penalty from that scrum. Towards the last minutes, as I think 5 minutes to the 80th minute, we called for a scrum. While I think the distance was, favorable for Kenya, Kubu would have gone for the penalty. We called for a scrum, and then we lost that scrum. It was Uganda's penalty. The last play for Uganda that they scored to win 21-20 was also it was an error from Kenya. We have so many errors, and I think assistant coach Carlos Katwa talked about it after the Zambia game. He said we have to eliminate the errors that we have in our game. If not, then there is no way we would, perform against a serious team. And I think some people might talk about, having 13 debutants in the team, but I have a different opinion. Actually, most of those debutants performed very well. Look at Paul Musami. Musami, yes, he got in Bindi yesterday, but he had a very good game when he came on. When you look at players like Inzuga was the top point scorer in the tournament. So it's where we are. It's a reflection of exactly where we are. But I think we need to invest more in our 15th team to get. Real quick,
Shitero, is here from that. He's talking of 15 teams, and everybody took pride on what the South African team did, Springbok did last week, winning the world title. But now if you look at our Simbas right now, I think we've really regressed. What should Sasha Mutai dress at the rugby union?
It's like you read my mind, Swill. I was coming to put a comparison between Kenya and South Africa when it comes to this. We have always struggled to strike a balance of how we manage our 15s and our 7s. So that we have a season where we have taken too much time on our 7s and there's nothing, almost zero with our 15s. That's what Kinyua said, that over 6 months, around 6 months without anything for the team. You can't expect them to do any miracle. I think there should be a structure where in our local league, we are able to accommodate the way the 15s play so that we don't get exposed. The way the Blitz and the box play in South Africa, you find that when we go to the 7s, they are doing so well. We go to the 15s, they are conquering the world. It means there is a balance. And I think that is what has lacked. That is a question of structure. I think Mutai and his team can come up with a structure where we are able to have 15s running and 7s may be running, and we are able to, at least to make sure the boys are engaged all through.
Absolutely. And to the question of the day, today we ask you about the EPL and the officiating therein. Is it up to scratch? What are your thoughts on the quality of officiating in the EPL? Hashtag Sporty Monday, 22422 at Isaac Swiller, at Citizen TV Kenya. And of course, we are going to sample your feedback or your thoughts shortly. So keep them coming. And back home,